Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Insiders. My name is Kuehn, and I'm joined here with
Stas, Manchik.
And today we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about, well, what did you want to talk about, Stas?
I think we should touch base on action and execution.
100%. And in this industry, because it is 100% an entrepreneurial industry, you're your own business owner, you are responsible for getting clients, anything like that. So that's like why this topic is so important. So what about that is so important for you? And like you've been in this industry for now over 8 years. What about that is so important?
So, I mean, the thing that, most people have a problem with is most people will write out their goals. They'll plan out their life. But that's all they do.
Yeah.
They plan and they plan and they plan and they go, okay, well, I'm going to wait for the weather to get better. I'm going to wait for my kids to get older. Oh, wait, it's snowing outside today. I can't really go out and execute and do stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like if you want to achieve something and you go out and you write it down on paper just to manifest it into the universe, you need to immediately after that start taking some kind of action towards whatever it is that you have planned out to achieve or what goal you have or business to start or whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I have personal experience with this. Like, there's so many times as like a real estate agent or just being a marketer in general, and my whole marketing side of what I do is like I write down so much. I have so many big ambitions, but sometimes like I get like 40% there, the 50% there, but it was really important for me to like get something on there and have like a big goal, and then like shoot for it. And sometimes like I'll end up near there or end up there every time, something like that. But I think it's always important to, if you're writing your goals down, to actually take action.
For sure. And I mean, and like you said, having big goals.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with having big goals, right? Because you're stretch goals, dream goals, whatever. Some people are like, oh my God, you want to be a billionaire. That's crazy. Like, how can you ever say that? You want to be a billionaire. It's like, okay, so what do you want to make, $100,000 a year? Great, right? Your goal is $100,000 a year. My goal could be $1 billion, right? But, you're working more and more and more to get to that billion. So even if I get to, $100 million, that's still better than getting to a goal of 100,000.
Yeah, for real. And it's just, the biggest thing is just like, there's just so many people who go their whole life without really writing their goals down or even setting them in general. But I think for the most of the people who are like tuning into this podcast, and this is a podcast, like we've said, it's for real estate agents. We're both real estate agents, Stas and I. I'm relatively new to the industry. I'm approaching, actually, yesterday was my 1 year. Wow. My license got activated August 1st, 2017. So it was my 1 year yesterday. That's kind of cool.
Wow.
And this guy over here has been in the business a lot longer than I have. Couple more years. So learning from him is amazing. And that's what we want to talk about in the show is the things that we've learned. So going back to goals in your first point, for this first part of the podcast, what are some things that you do on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, a yearly basis, things like that for your goals? What do you do?
So, I mean, I usually review my goals 3-4 times a week. Mm-hmm. And once a month, I'll take a half a day, sit at a coffee shop or a couple hours even, review my goals, write down my goals, readjust my goals, and then take actionable steps on what I need to do to achieve my goals that week, the following week. So I have my goals in like 3 years, 5 years, and then every year my goal is broken down into months.
Yep.
It's broken down into quarters. It's broken down into weeks, and then I break it down into days. Like, what do I need to do today to meet my goal that's, 364 days from now?
Yeah.
But it makes it easier and easier achievable when you're like, oh my God, I gotta make, $300,000 this year. Then you freak out about it. But when you really break it down, it's I need to make a few $1,000s a day. But it doesn't even have to be about the money. It can be about how many homes you want to sell, how many trips you want to take, how many hours a week you want to spend with your kids, with your
really
family.
mapping every single thing out so you don't have to like second guess yourself, basically.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, it's like, I look at it as, and I've used it a million times in the meetings, is if you get into your car and your map is up and you don't type a destination in there, you're not going to know where to go.
Yeah.
Right? Or if you type in the wrong destination, you're going to end up in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really break it down and you type in the right address and the right destination, then you're going to go out there and you're actually going to do it.
Yeah. So I do something really similar. So I would say I don't have like 3-year goals or 5 years goals, because I think especially for everything for me is...
Sorry for being on the phone.
Yeah.
Photographers trying to get into a property right now and can't.
Yeah, so for me, I'll just tell you guys a little bit about what I do. So what I do is I have like my yearly goal, and or yearly goals. I have about 5 that I break down, and I have those in a lovely app that I call, Evernote. I keep it in my Evernote so I can get access to it right away every single day. And then when I wake up in the morning, I read the Daily Stoic. If you haven't heard of that book, I would really go get it. It's by Ryan Holiday. You read 1 page a day. I read it every single morning. And then after I read that, I look at my goals for the day. And then that morning, I plan out my day. So for me, I got a lot of things going on as far as like VSM's marketing, classic property services marketing, and things like that, and real estate. So I map out like what posts I'm going to do for that day, what videos need to be done. I look at those calendars to see what needs to be done. And then I just map out my day every single day right when I get up. So I don't even have to like second guess myself. I know, but that being said, I keep it under like 5 main tasks that I got to do.
For sure.
So, because there's a lot of things like today, this is going to be 2 of 3 podcasts we're doing today. Like I didn't 100% know we were going to do all of these today. I knew we were going to do them this week. So I leave room in the day for things to come up, and especially in real estate.
You never know when an inspection's going to fall apart.
Exactly.
When an appraisal's going to come in that's bad or good, or a house is going to come on the market that you need to drop everything and
go
run
show
after
for
it
a
because
client.
there's 100 million people after that same house because it's the best deal out there.
But just things like that. So I think it's important just to get like those things you have to get done to complete your goals. Get those on paper, the start of the day, start of the week. And you don't even have to do it daily like I do. You can do something like what Stas does, weekly or monthly. He knows what direction he's going in, and that's the beautiful thing about this as well is you create your own strategy. I would say for me to figure out how I did that was probably 2 years, a year until I figured out something that actually worked. And for me, the biggest problem I was having, which I still getting over, is staying accountable for not actually getting all the things done. And when things come up, like big changes, you get distracted. So as far as accountability, I think this is like if this was 50% of mapping out your goals, accountability is like the other 50%, just to execution and achieving the life you want. What do you do to keep yourself accountable on your goals and things like that?
So what I do is I usually have, when I write down my goals, I have an accountability sheet of like, okay, here's where I need to be this week. So I've made this many phone calls, I've touched base with this many people, I've shown this many properties, I've listed this many properties. But every week I also try to have a consequence.
Yeah.
And then I have a reward. So if I go out and I achieve all my goals that week, I'll have a reward to where it's like, okay, I won't have 1 coffee today from Starbucks. Shout out Starbucks, it's life.
It is.
I will have, 2 coffees or whatever it is, or a consequence. I could donate $100 this week to charity on top of what I usually do.
Yeah.
As a consequence is if I don't get to my goal. So, in your head, you get into the structure of, okay, so it's negative if I don't achieve them. It's positive if I do, because I like to do nice things for myself. I like to treat myself,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
everything else, right? Because I've never done that. But a coach told me, he's like, you need to have that positivity for yourself.
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree.
Because I'm the type of person that's like, okay, I don't care. Like, I'll eat last. I won't buy myself stuff because I don't do that stuff, right? But my kids, on the other hand, that's a daily struggle of how much stuff do you pay. Hey, Ryan.
there's Mr. Ryan. We're recording a podcast.
Mr. Ryan Schroder walking by,
So
strolling along.
that's a really good thing to note, and I think that is a really good way to end this podcast as Ryan walks up.
Yeah.
So this week we're talked about accountability, setting goals, and things like that. Is there any final thoughts that you have?
No, Ryan, any take on goal setting and accountability?
Come on, Ryan.
I'm happy to do an impromptu cameo. Thanks for asking.
That's what happens when you walk past us in the hallway.
Any advice on goal setting? Well, first and foremost, set goals and then actually take steps to achieve them on a regular basis. Don't ever lose sight of them. Don't get discouraged. Don't look at it from just a micro, like that day or that call or whatever it is. If it's one thing doesn't go your way, keep grinding, knowing that the effort you put in is going to produce the results you're after.
Awesome. Thanks for the wise advice.
See you guys next week.